Hey guys, Stay Patient here, and welcome to another edition of the Trophy Hunters PSN update. Now, I'm sorry that I haven't done much content over the last few days or maybe week. I've actually been making a lot of changes to the channel, working on different things. I'm learning a new software for video editing. I'm trying to put together an intro for my videos, which may actually be on this video if I get it done in time. So you may have already seen it. I'm trying to set up a logo and things. I'm also trying to set up a kind of green screen in my room, which has meant a load of kind of moving furniture around and redecorating and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of midway through it, so I apologize that I've been quite quiet. I'm going to be working on kind of focusing the channel a bit more. So if you've actually been on my channel page recently, you'll see that it's all chopped up into different sections now. So I'm going to keep this particular show going. We're going to have obviously the weekly PSN update for you trophy hunters. I'm also going to continue reviewing all the platinums that I earn. That's like another section on the channel. I'm going to do the occasional trophy guides for a game. You know, if there's a game that I feel like I've got some help that I can offer you, and I can, you know, give assistance with a decent number of the trophies in the game, a bit like I did with Overwatch, then I will continue to do that. I'm also going to be branching out more into the top 10 videos, and that's partly why I'm setting up the green screen, so that I can do videos a bit like the one I did a few weeks ago, talking about the 10 easiest and fastest PS4 Platinums that you've probably never played. In other words, games that are a bit sort of lesser known. I think it's kind of pointless telling people that the Telltale games are good, for instance, or the Lego games are good, because they're all easy, you know, we all know that. But I'd like to bring some of those lesser known titles to your attention. There's actually 3 this week that I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to do a part 2 to that video and a part 3, but I'm waiting until I've got everything set up so that all the content I do can be a bit higher quality for you guys. I know you enjoy them anyway, but I'd like to sort of give back to you, because I know a lot of you are really putting a lot of support, or giving me a lot of support in what I do, which is really very much appreciated, and I want to show you how much it means to me by kind of improving the quality of everything I do on here. So this week, let's dive right in. That's just a kind of quick explanation as to why things have been a bit quiet. And it also explains why this week's episode may be a little bit shorter than usual, because I'm literally in the middle of trying to finish off that video intro as well. But I have annoyingly recorded this video twice already, but I had problems with the Elgato software conking out on me, so the footage was all lost. But it has meant that I've kind of had chance to look through the games, and we're going to be able to whiz through and show you guys some key titles out of this week's list that are worth you checking out. Now, last week someone asked me about Don't Starve Together. I have had a look on the voting thread on PlayStationTrophies.org where they vote for difficulty, and it seems to be around about a 6 or 7 out of 10. And it might have some luck-based trophies, because there's 2 votes on the completion time. One person says 25 to 35 hours, and one person says over 100. So it could be that there's a luck-based trophy that some people get quickly and other people take ages and ages to earn. But it's certainly not an easy platinum. It's probably very doable, but I'd say it's on par with the original version. So to the guy who was asking about it, I think he said he's platinum the first game, so if you've done that one, I'm sure you'd be able to do this one as well. Let's keep scrolling up though. We discussed Mafia 2 last week. We also discussed The Bunker, but this is the first one that's like a confirmed easy platinum. If we click on it, this is the game we spoke about that's fully live action, real people, real locations, everything's filmed, and you make choices in the game, you pick things up and you click on things, basically kind of a, I guess, a puzzle adventure game, but it's a horror game as well. So it's very much like an interactive movie, really, because it only takes a couple of hours to complete, if that. A lot of people have done it in less than 2 hours. And if we have a look, I've got tons and tons of these tabs open, because like I say, I've already recorded this video twice and been kind of screwed by my software. But let's see, The Bunker, there it is. So we've got the trophy guide here, 1 out of 10 difficulty, 1 to 2 hours. There's a walkthrough as well. So that is here. That's kind of, oh yeah, it is a text and video walkthrough, but there will be spoilers here. So I do recommend you play through once yourself, just to enjoy the story. and then maybe go back and do the trophies, because it's so short anyway, it's just not going to take long even if you have to play it through twice. Most of it's collectible related, so it's basically complete the game, make 2 different choices at the end, so you can probably upload your save and make one choice and then download your save, reload it and make the other choice if you do want to do it in one sitting or one playthrough. All the rest is collectibles. So you could probably, if you searched around enough, you could probably find all the collectibles, but I do seem to remember reading about some of them being quite close to trigger points for the next chapter. So if you're in a room and you click on something, it might take you forward to the next chapter where you can't then return. So if you do things in the wrong order, if you don't pick up collectibles in that room first, you might accidentally find yourself progressing forward and being unable to return. So that's where the trophy sort of guide and collectible guide comes in, where it can be very helpful. Let's see, the second one I was going to cover is Jazzpunk. Now again, one of you mentioned this last week. There was so much to cover last week, I kind of had to be quite selective in which games I talked about. But Jazzpunk was one that didn't have any feedback last week. No one was really playing it because it wasn't out yet. But it looks really interesting. I read an article on Eurogamer where they said you can't really describe it in words and you can't do it justice because it's really, really clever with the humor that it portrays. But trophy-wise, it's super easy, super quick. 70% of people who've played it have earned the platinum in less than an hour. Look, you can easily do it in less than an hour. And there are sort of guides and things. Let's have a look. Here's the trophy guide, 1 out of 10, 2 hours to complete. And there are, it's quite handy how this is laid out. Who is it? It's Sean, I think. Yeah, Sean's done this guide. So he split it up into the different, I guess, levels. I've not played it myself yet, but I'll bring you guys a review when I do. But yeah, we've got the different sections or maybe different modes or whatever the case may be. And it tells you what trophies you should try and earn in those sections. So if you don't want to follow a guide step by step, at least you know what you're trying to work towards, and you can search for each of these trophies to make sure you know what the requirements are before doing, for instance, in this case, the bachelor pad, whether that's a level or a mode or whatever. And he even puts them in the order in which you should earn them. So that's quite helpful. We've also got here, we've got 2 videos showing all the trophies being earned. And let's have a look how long these videos are. This is less than an hour. I think the other video is less than an hour as well. So yeah, another super, super quick, easy trophy set. I apologize that I haven't found out the prices of these. Like I said, I've been so busy this week. I've only just had a chance to take a breather and sit down and try and do this video. But I'll leave you guys to check your PlayStation stores. It does look like all of these games that I'm going to be talking about are released already. So that's Jazzpunk and The Bunker. And the final easy platinum this week is Virginia. And again, this is super, super easy. Now, it's got a slightly lower completion percentage on the platinum, but that's because it's one of those adventure games with lots of missable trophies. So you've got games like Grim Fandango or Day of the Tentacle. Games like that are easy if you follow a guide. But if you're playing it just through from start to finish, there are a lot of trophies that you'll miss if you don't know exactly what you're doing. So if you want to play it for fun, it's not going to take too long to complete. Going in blind obviously will take a bit longer because you'll be trying to solve the puzzles that progress the story forward. And sometimes it can be quite tricky depending on who's made this game. But again, there's plenty of guides. Let's just find Virginia. Yeah, okay, so we've got a trophy guide, and in this guide there'll be a link for one of the other forum threads that you saw there. Here we go. This is a video. I think I've got my sound off. Yeah, so literally this is like a step-by-step guide that you can follow. Obviously it's going to take you a bit longer to earn the platinum because you'll be watching the video as well, or you can just follow this text guide. Now, this isn't a step-by-step text guide, it's just like a rundown of all the different trophies, but it does look as though they've put them in the order of when you should earn them pretty much. But whatever the case may be, it's a 2 out of 10 platinum, 4 to 5 hours. So again, an under 5 hour platinum. And those are gold for us trophy hunters. So yeah, it's kind of point and click adventure. You can kind of tell that from the image here. They're always easy because usually there's no way of you being able to die, and there's no sort of platforming or difficult sections. It's just a case of, you know, the difficulty comes in trying to figure things out. But if you don't have to figure it out because you're following a guide, it becomes completely void of any difficulty. Now there's a couple more games I was going to mention. I think we spoke about Don't Starve, didn't we? Red Dead Revolver's not out yet. Mafia 2's on its way in a couple of weeks. I apologise, by the way, if my voice is a bit echoey. A lot of my furniture is missing from my room, so it's kind of made the room quite bare and quite echoey to record in. Hopefully it doesn't spoil anything for you. Darkest Dungeon is one of the other games I was going to mention, not because it's easy. It's not actually out yet on PS4, but it's been out in alpha and beta on PC for a while, and it looks really, really interesting. I actually discussed this during my 12 games not to forget during this holiday season. I did a video talking about some of the games that you know, might get lost amongst the release schedule because there's so many AAA games on their way. And this was one of them. It's I think an indie game, but it looks really cool. It's like a 2D RPG where you've got your team members, but rather than just dealing with physical status effects and ailments and things like that, you have to keep tabs on your team members' mental stability, their kind of psychological state, because everything you do in the game has an effect on them, their emotions and their, you know, just where their head is, you know? And it looks really cool. People can literally go crazy in it and become useless to you or die or whatever, and it's permadeath, or your characters, a bit like XCOM, your characters die and they're gone, I think. But you can kind of go back to towns and try and do things with your team members that will help calm them. But obviously you need to manage it, you need to prioritize. It looks just really cool. I think it's worth, maybe, I mean, you can watch a trailer of it, but you don't really get the nuances of it. If you do, I recommend reading an article about it if it sounds like something that will interest you. It's one of those games that's probably going to be quite difficult, but you can always play it on a blank account. That's something I'm going to talk about in my hopefully upcoming series of how to be a trophy hunter videos. We're going to talk about blank accounts and things like that. But if you play it on, you know, a blank login, then if you do happen to end up earning all the trophies, you can then sign that login into your account to add those trophies to your account. But obviously, if you can't earn all the trophies, it means that your account isn't sullied by an incomplete trophy set. But either way, I think it looks like it's definitely worth at least checking out. It might not be your cup of tea, but at least take a look at it because it does look very cool and interesting and really quite unique as well. Now, FIFA, I haven't bought FIFA games since 2014. I do enjoy them, but I only really play them with friends. I'm not big on kind of playing online or building up the ultimate team or anything like that. But, you know, I do check the trophies each year. Usually I wait till there's a bit of feedback, and if it's easy, I will buy it. I just can't I can't justify buying games that don't have trophy sets that I'm going to be able to do, because I run a trophy service, so I spend thousands of pounds a year on games that I need, you know, for my customers. So I can't really afford to go buying extra games that I can't then put onto my website, which is linked in the description below, by the way. You know, it's just kind of an economical thing. But the interesting point about these is that for some reason the PS3 version of FIFA has one extra trophy, and that one is A grade student. It's for getting A ratings in the 5 training drills in career mode. So it's very strange to me why it's in the PS3 version, not the PS4. I do wonder maybe if the career mode is different, maybe it's not as fleshed out in the PS3 version. It could be that the new career mode, where you start off young and you kind of build your way up. I think we saw trailers of it in at the E3 conference. You know, they actually had an actor come out and kind of, I guess, perform it live in some way. It was all a bit weird, but I think it might be that the career mode is more fleshed out on the PS4 version. The PS3 version might be the old style, just basic career mode. So maybe they're, just including those training drills in the PS3 version, but it's all changed for PS4. So maybe that's it. But it'd be interesting if any of you guys do know the reason for this trophy only appearing in one version. Let me know in the comments below. But there we have it, guys. That's pretty much everything I was going to discuss today. So just to recap, Darkest Dungeon looks cool, but the 3 super easy platinums this week, which is more than we usually get. This has been a real kind of smorgasbord, is that the right word? Smorgasbord of easy platinum trophy sets. But they're all on screen right now. So the bunker can be done in less than 2 hours. Jazzpunk can be done in less than 1 hour. And Virginia is around 3 or 4 hours. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to be picking up all 3 of those when I finally got everything sorted here, got all my technology figured out, all the furniture and the wall painted with green, and all my camera work figured out. I need to kind of do some research because I'm very kind of amateur when it comes to cameras and things like that. But once everything's sorted, I can actually settle down and do a bit more gaming and catch up with some of these easy trophy sets. And in the meantime, I'll be bringing you reviews for all those games that I do complete. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative for you guys. I know some of you really enjoy the series, and it's you guys that have motivated me to keep it going, despite only getting a few views each week. But hopefully, if I do improve the professionalism of the channel, if I do kind of make all the content that much more professional looking and just higher quality for you guys, then hopefully more people will start subscribing, and it will just make it that bit easier to keep all these weekly shows and things on the go. So I do appreciate your time checking out the content, guys, and watching this particular show each week. It's fun to make for you guys, and it's informative for me as well, because it's a chance for me to kind of update myself with the games that are coming out and find some of these easy trophy sets. So yeah, it works out great for everyone involved. So once again, thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like and of course subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you next week, or of course in the week if you want to check out any of my midweek content. And in the meantime, I'll catch you very soon, guys. Thanks again. Ciao for now.